Some stories, they feel like they're just waiting for the right person to come along and listen. Well, tonight, we're going to talk about one of those. A story about a desperate phone call that went unanswered for decades. And what happened on the night someone finally picked up. So, picture this. A small, almost forgotten town called Blackwood. It's late. There's this relentless, heavy rain just lashing down, and the wind is howling through these empty streets. It's just one of those nights that feels wrong, like the world outside is trying to claw its way in. And right in the middle of all this stormy isolation, we meet our guy, Jake. He's pulling the lonely night shift at an old, quiet roadside motel. You know, the kind of place where absolutely nothing ever happens. Well, until tonight. The Whispering Pines Motel is practically a ghost town. There are only 2 rooms taken for the entire night, and Jake is just trying to kill time, probably scrolling on his phone. The quiet inside the lobby is so thick you could cut it with a knife, especially compared to the storm just raging outside. It creates this really unsettling pocket of stillness. And then that stillness is just shattered. But it's not thunder, it's not the wind, it's the sharp, sudden ring of the internal motel phone. You know, the one that connects the rooms right to the front desk. A call from inside the motel. Jake answers it, probably expecting someone asking for extra towels or the Wi-Fi password. But all he hears at first is silence. And then a soft, terrified whisper comes through the line. It's so weak, it's barely audible, but it's filled with this chilling desperation. Please, help me. Jake, now totally on high alert, asks who's calling. The weak voice tells him her location, room 217, and then she adds this frantic warning. He's coming. And just like that, the line goes dead. Just static, leaving Jake staring at the silent phone. Okay, so this is where things go from weird to deeply unsettling. Jake's confusion turns into this cold dread when he checks the guest register. The system is clear. The call supposedly came from room 217, but according to his records, that room is empty, vacant. And this is the moment a possible prank starts to feel like something much, much worse. So Jake has a choice, right? Ignore it, chalk it up to a crossed wire, or go investigate. He grabs the master key and, probably against his better judgment, he heads upstairs. He just has to know what's going on in that supposedly empty room. You can just imagine that walk up the stairs, can't you? The hallway is dark, the overhead lights are flickering right in time with the roaring thunder outside. Every shadow seems to stretch and move, and the silence up there feels heavy, just charged with this awful anticipation. And when he finally reaches the room, the fear just spikes, because the door isn't locked. It's not even fully closed. It's already slightly ajar. Like, was he being invited in? Or did someone just leave in a real hurry? It's such a small detail, but so unsettling. He pushes the door open and finds, well, nothing. The room is vacant, just like the register said. No guest, no luggage, nothing. But there are signs of someone being there. The bed sheets are all messy and thrown about, and most importantly, that old telephone on the nightstand, the receiver is off the hook. Jake, just trying to make sense of this, puts the receiver back onto its cradle. And the instant he does, it starts ringing again. Right there, in the room with him. The call is coming from inside the room he's standing in. His heart is just pounding in his chest, but he answers it. It's the same terrified voice, but this time, the message isn't for some anonymous person at a desk. The message is for him. He's here, she whispers. He found me. In the room, behind you. Suddenly, the threat isn't distant anymore. It's immediate, and it's personal. So Jake spins around, of course, but the room is still completely empty. And that's when the voice on the phone changes. All the fear is just gone, replaced by this cold, angry tone. You shouldn't have answered. And at that exact moment, the bathroom light just flicks on, all by itself. He drops the phone and slowly, cautiously, walks towards that open, lit bathroom door. And there, reflected in the mirror, standing right behind him in the room, is a woman. Her face is ghostly white. Her eyes are like these dark, hollow voids. And her neck is twisted at a sickening, completely unnatural angle. He whips around again, and, of course, no one is there. The room is empty. But when he forces himself to look back at the mirror, she's closer now. Her mouth opens, and this final haunting question whispers out from the reflection itself. Why didn't you save me? And that's it. That's the breaking point. Jake just turns and runs for his life. So he's back at the front desk, trying to catch his breath, trying to tell himself it was just exhaustion, his mind playing tricks on him. But then he looks down at the guest register, and the impossible has happened. A new name has just appeared, written in what looks like fresh ink, right under the entry for room 217, Emily Carter. But the check-in date isn't tonight. It's October 12th, 1998, almost exactly 25 years ago, to the day. A frantic online search reveals the motel's dark, hidden history. Back in 1998, a young woman named Emily Carter was murdered in that very room. The articles say she had desperately called the front desk for help, but the night clerk on duty never answered the phone. Tonight, a quarter of a century later, Jake finally did. As all of this is sinking in, the front desk phone rings one last time. Jake hesitates, then answers. And through the line comes a soft, final whisper. It's not scared anymore. It's not angry. It just sounds tired. Thank you for listening. And then for the first time in 25 years, the line goes silent for good. The next morning, the storm is past. The sun is shining. The motel owner arrives to start his day and finds the front desk completely empty. Jake is nowhere to be found. His car is still in the parking lot. His stuff is there, but he has simply vanished. But the guest register holds the final, horrifying truth. There, right under Emily Carter's entry for room 217, is a new line. The guest's name, Jake Miller. His check-in time, 2:17 a.m. And his status? Permanent guest. Emily's spirit could finally rest because someone, after all those years, finally answered her call for help. But in doing so, Jake took her place. The story became a warning for anyone who stayed at the Whispering Pines Motel. Never, ever answer the phone in room 217, because the next time it rings, the call might be for you.